We shall win the hearts of every person with love, and that is our main objective.
Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad is the present head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, the most dynamic international community within Islam. The community was established by Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad in Qadian, a small and remote village in India. He claimed to be the expected reformer of the latter days, the one awaited by all major world religions. Founded in 1889, the community has continued to spread throughout the world, flourishing under Khalifat, the system of spiritual leadership established after the demise of the holy founder. The current successor of this movement, Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, continues the work of the holy founder to revive the spiritual and moral state of mankind. The movement embodies the benevolent message of Islam and its pristine purity, a movement that teaches peace, universal brotherhood, and submission to the will of God. Ahmadi Muslims have earned the reputation and distinction for being a law-abiding community. Within a century, the movement has reached the corners of the earth and has been recognized and praised by the global community.
I would thank you also that you have stressed the importance of showing that Islam is the religion of peace, not the religion of hate, as it was stated on the wall in the Jalsa. Love for all, hatred for none. I think that is the message that the world really needs.
Wherever the movement has been established, it endeavors to exert a constructive influence of Islam through social projects, educational institutes, health services, and Islamic publications. Despite the bitter persecution the community suffers in some countries,
we can find in today's world, and I applaud you for your contribution in Britain and worldwide to community cohesion and enjoyment of diversity that is such a precious asset.
I would like to pay an additional tribute to the work being done by Ahmadis in raising standards in Africa and particularly in education.
Yes, Britain has welcomed the headquarters of the Ahmadis in this country, but it hasn't become something that's become, as it were, a closed sect in Britain. It's become a community that has sought to reach out to all of us. And that's very important, because the best way to break down the barriers of misunderstanding and prejudice is for that contact to happen, and I thank you for that.
Your faith is dedicated to serving the society that you live in, and from what I've seen, heard, and experienced from mainstream charities, schools, and churches, your faith and community have contributed in significant ways. I have personally experienced and heard that you have raised tens of thousands of pounds on sponsored walks for children, older people, and people with disabilities. You have dedicated yourselves to charitable social projects, and most significantly of all, you have not distinguished between faiths, ethnicities, or communities.
the community's many social projects aimed at helping those in need bears testimony to the humanitarian concerns in respect of all human beings, regardless of race, color, or creed.
Your own work, Your Holiness, particularly in West Africa, is well known, and we heard just now about your attempts to bring water and energy supplies to some of the poorest communities in West Africa.
Together, we should fight common enemies such as illiteracy, disease, hunger, and poverty. The Ahmadiyya mission has put structures in place towards the fight against these common enemies in order to enhance the dignity of man.
What has so impressed me as I have come to understand more about the Ahmadiyya faith is your remarkable commitment to interfaith dialogue, your commitment to the principle of non-compulsion in religion, and your commitment to peace and tolerance. You, the Ahmadis, stand as a beacon in your strong belief that we must find the answers to these debates through open, thoughtful, and gentle discussion. And you are also a beacon because you show us that we must find the answers to these debates through practical action.
I'd like to start by saying just how important the work of the Ahmadiyya community is. It deepens others' understanding of your own faith, and it gives a voice to those who are marginalised in their own societies.
We especially applaud His Holiness for denouncing those who pervert faith by claiming it as a justification for violence. However we define God, it is wrong to kill in His name.
His Holiness Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, the present head of the community, continues in his effort to unite people from all faiths and cultures. He has travelled extensively to spread the message of peace and to remind everyone to respect the rights of other human beings. During these tours, His Holiness has met world leaders from the Far East to Europe, from North America to Africa, discussing the economic, social and political problems facing the world today and how to create peace and justice in the world. He has also met religious and community leaders in order to share common values and core ideals, universal to all religions and cultures, with a view to improving the moral state of mankind and creating an atmosphere of love and affection. He has personally initiated social projects and schemes to alleviate poverty and human suffering. His concern is not just about the moral state of the Ahmadiyya community, but of the great human suffering of mankind at large.
Let us make a resolution. Let us make this resolution to promote the message of peace and brotherhood, which is your message to mankind, that people of different religions should not quarrel and fight with each other, but should accept and tolerate and live together in that spirit of brotherhood and peace, which is the essence of your religion.
More recently, His Holiness, to promote world peace, has addressed the European Parliament, the British Parliament, and Capitol Hill in the United States of America. We have been very active in engaging our youth in various charity events, including blood donations, homeless feeding, fundraising for charities, and environmental initiatives. Moreover, our community has played an integral role in disaster appeal and relief. We also encourage participation in sporting events and extracurricular activities. In the United Kingdom, one of the oldest and most established events of the community are its charity walks, which have been an annual feature of the calendar. To date, the community has raised in excess of £1 million. We continue the global efforts in Australia with branches in all major cities. Our local headquarters located in Marsden Park in Sydney. Historically, our community's first arrival can be traced back to 1862, with the arrival of Hassan Musa Khan with the early settlers. Over the last 20 years, as our community has grown in numbers, we have increased our efforts to continue the struggle to serve humanity. Since its inception in 1989, we have been involved in Clean Up Australia Day, having the highest number of registered volunteers and donations in Australia. We also hold quarterly cleanups at 3 local sites allocated by KISAB at Panalatinga Road, Woodcroft, Tapleys Hill Road, West Beach, and Majors Road, O'Halloran Hill.
Australia Day. We have wonderful support by the Islamic people of Australia right across the country. On the first clean-up ever, the congregation of a mosque in Blacktown all came to the harbour to clean up. Huge group of them. And I said, thank you so much. Why did you do this? And they said, we just wanted to say thank you to our new country. So you make great Australians, and I'm just only too happy to have the opportunity to say a big thank you to you.
The Clean Up Australia Day a few months ago and seeing an army of the Ahmadiyya Muslim along West Beach Road, I think it was, Tapley's Hill Road, and I'd just gone and helped pick up litter myself in that same area, and then there was only a group of about 10 of us, and then suddenly I get to Tapley's Hill Road corner and there's 50 or 100, and I was just amazed, and I thought that's a great tribute to what you do, and I know you mentioned other things as well, whether it be the Salvation Army and so forth, so that's fantastic that you do such work in the community.
Another event on our local calendar is the celebration of Australia Day. We participate in the Australia Day Parade and organise an event for our community members to appreciate this country.
The Ahmadiyya Muslim Association stands before us to declare themselves not just people who live in Australia, but as patriotic as Australian as you can get, committed to building this country harmoniously, lovingly, with tolerance, and proud that you share a love for this country which rivals any Australians.
For me, as a citizen of South Australia and Minister for Multicultural Affairs, there's another tenet of the Khilafat that is true and powerful, and that is your abhorrence of violence and terrorism and your determination to reach out to the society in which you live through the message that love of country is a part of faith.
During the floods in Queensland, our members volunteered countless hours to help in relief efforts through our local branch of Humanity First. The community also encourages members to be useful citizens of society. Red Cross blood donations are a regular point of conversation, and strategies are made to encourage all members to participate in this noble scheme. Moreover, events for charities such as Novita, Royal Society for the Blind, Salvation Army, Meals on Wheels, Cancer Council, Oncology Children's Foundation, Feeding the Homeless through St. Vincent de Paul's South Australia, and the Hospital Research Foundation are organised on a regular basis. Recently, our Women's Wings members won the Community Event of the Year Award for 2012 for the Women's Community Bazaar.
And all I can do is to congratulate you on the many aspects that you embrace to be associated with this, your religion. I'm very, very aware of the work that you've done for Novita Children's Services in particular, and I know that this association was one that could always be counted on to help out. I'm also aware of the work that you've done for the South Australian Red Cross Association, and also in the Greening Australia projects. But for me, what's even more significant is the fact that you actually do this work, or the young people I know do this work, not on Australia Day, which is going to get you a bit of publicity, but at other times during the year. And I think it's the acts that we do when we know we're not going to get the publicity for it that are the truly good acts. And I congratulate you and I congratulate your association for being involved in these humanitarian projects and many others that I'm sure I'm not aware of.
Using sporting events such as soccer and cricket, we have organised fundraisers for Red Cross and Humanity First.
Ahmadiyya Association are, in my view, an outward-looking, positive, and a supportive organisation that embodies the spirit of participation and contribution to our community, to our nation. From its charity work with the Red Cross, to organising sporting matches, to its tremendous efforts each year as a leading part of the Clean Up Australia Day, the Ahmadiyya Muslim Association is a model of giving back, paying back to the community with generosity.
This year we have also participated in National Tree Day and alongside our local council planted over 700 plants.
Thank you to the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community Group for coming along to our planting event for National Tree Day. It's been an amazing turnout. We've planted nearly 700 plants and we're sponsored by Planet Ark and the City of Onkaparinga.
We commend the efforts you have long made in assisting the wider Australian community in events such as Clean Up Australia Day, Red Cross, blood donations and fundraising for children and medical research, and the fundraising that has been done to aid the Third World. You have taken your places in South Australia as workers and business people in many different fields, where you all make important individual contributions to this country. Your community's participation in the annual Australia Day parade shows a rare level of loyalty to and affection for Australia and the values she embodies.
Organisation of interreligious harmony has also been at the forefront, especially after the recent uproar caused by some misinformed people on Islam and its Prophet. We organised our first Religious Founders Day, or Peace Forum, in 2005, which has continued annually. More recently, we have focused on promoting peace by spreading the peaceful message of Islam through exhibitions of the Holy Book of Islam, the Quran.
This is a religion of peace, a culture of peace and knowledge. And this, of course, is what we are all taught as young people in our youth to pursue, peace and knowledge. And it is what I've read and what I've seen and what I've heard about the Ahmadiyya community. I couldn't be more pleased to hear from you here today and that this understanding is so very true of the Islam religion.
I also found it interesting, one of your first slides up there was of one of the double-decker buses in London, and it mentioned via Paddington. And I lived in the United Kingdom many years ago, and I know you had the Ahmadiyya, your sister association there, and I think they're doing some great work over there, and it's a nice alignment of world peace and international peace. Great that you're doing the same here in Australia and in the city of Adelaide. So congratulations on the work you're doing.
I love your quote, love for all and hatred for none, and I think we could all live so well by that philosophy.
That is our slogan, love for all, hatred for none.
Love for all, hatred for none. Those words from your third Khalifa are more important, more crucial, more essential today than they have ever been.
As a Sikh of Guru Nanak, I find this Ahmadiyya motto so close to my heart. Love for all, hatred for none.
Your slogan, like we can read here, love for all, hatred for none, has impressed me very much, and I believe it's the only way towards a peaceful society.
Your motto is love for all and hatred for none. It is so simple and pure. How can we go wrong as Muslims if we adhere to such a simple ideology?